Right, and guys, further update video. As you know, I pointed out earlier that the tie bars were missing out of the roof that they've put on. We just had a guy round to do a dehumidifier who goes to all sorts of disaster projects like burnt out buildings and all that sort of thing. He's basically said, I'm going to spend as little time in this conservatory as I possibly can, and I'm going to show you what he's pointed out to me. So I'm going to spin you around. This is for the benefit of Evander, who have called me. So I'm going to show you exactly what state we're in at the moment. So I don't know if this is going to show on camera, but that ridge up there is 1 metre long. Over that metre, that ridge drops 38 millimetres. So that whole roof section is totally out of square. This is the front of the conservatory. If you get on that bubble, and this is only a 2-foot level, to bring that level roughly there, you can see how far out of true that is. In fact, I don't even need to use a level. If I come back here and you look down there, you can see that that whole front wall of the conservatory is now leaning out and twisted. This casement no longer shuts. It won't shut at all. Even if I slam it, it won't shut. This one has dropped and sticks, so they're no good. This casement, as you can see, opens normally because it's not twisted. We have obvious movement cracking. I don't know if you'll see that because the sun's there. But down that trim panel, you can see obvious movement cracking. What we have also noticed is at the top of all these windows, they haven't sealed them, and you can actually see daylight. You can see daylight through there. You can see daylight through there. Don't know if it's showing up on camera. So this ridge is totally, this ridge here is totally on the slant. The main ridge, I can remember saying to them, because if you look at the gap there, you can see how much they pulled the box gutter up to bring it level from the original installation. And when I looked at this main ridge, it was level. I've just gone outside talking to the other guy on the drive. It is no longer level. It's falling off down to that end by a considerable amount. Obviously I can't get up there to check how much, but the guy has used a laser measure and he has confirmed that it is running out. This part here, though, is scary. This little area here, that is running out by 3 to 4 inches. You can actually see the bend in it. If I go very slowly up, you'll see the bend. If I come like that, you can see how at the far end at the wall where it's bolted into the wall, it runs out by about 5 millimeters, and this one runs out by God knows. God knows. I mean, just on that 2-foot level, it's running out by over 1 inch. So this whole section here is splaying out and it's pushing this outwards. This is what happens when you have a ton of glass on a roof with no tie bars. Now, on a normal conservatory, if it's left for a couple of days, it'll probably be okay. But if you look at these labels, you'll see they have weights on them. That sealed unit alone is 40 kilos. That sealed unit is 38 kilos. That sealed unit is 48 kilos. So just in those 3 sealed units alone, you've got, what, 140 kilos? That's in 3 sealed units. There are 30 sealed units in this roof. That one's 26, that one's 26, That one's 26. That one's 26. That one's 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 26. There'll be 5 at 26 the other side. There's another 3, 125, 250 kilos. And that's without counting all these ones, all these little ones up here, all these ones around here. Yeah, we're already up to nearly half a ton of glass without counting all these. And these ones are 26 kilos each, 38 kilos, 29. So well over a ton of glass and nothing structurally tying it together. The guy that's just left has said, please keep your kids out of here. The guys that left said, you're fine to put your kids in here. Everything's just twisted and bowed, and you can actually see where that joint there, if I'm getting close enough to it, you'll see that that sealant joint there between the two units, just here, has cracked where everything's moved. It's just an utter nightmare. I can't leave my kids in this conservatory. I can't even secure my house because that window is open and won't shut. This door now doesn't shut properly. You've basically got to, that works fine. There's no tension in that. But yeah, if you shut the door, you get to there, and then to actually lock it, you hear that almost grinding, grunching noise because the door frame is out of line now. So yeah, we have got a damp problem in here now. There is excessive moisture. They brought a dehumidifier, which I've just turned off for the purposes of this video so you can hear me, because it is quite noisy. So we've got to live with a noisy extract again. I've just noticed there's another blind here that's broken, and the clip's been ripped out of the frame. That wasn't like that before, so more damage. It's just an absolute bloody nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So I'm going to get out of here, guys, because I really don't feel safe in here at the moment. And the guy that was here literally went white and went, really? He's actually refusing to do any work until this is structurally sound. And his report is going into Aviva to say such. So this whole roof is going to have to come off. All of these units are going to have to be re-leveled. They're going to have to be resealed because everything's cracked where it's moved. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. So everything that's been done in the last week has got to be undone and redone. To say I am not a happy chappy is an understatement. So, yeah, there we are. This is supposedly a professional company with a contract with one of the world's biggest insurers. This is the mess we've been left in. And I've got to leave my missus and my kids in this when I go to Denmark. You can imagine how relaxed I'm going to be in Denmark. I mean, even though Denmark is work rather than play, you can imagine that I'm not really going to be focused on what I'm doing. I've told the company that I want this aqua propping out. They say they're coming back to finish it on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't see how they can finish it because it's going to have to be totally deglazed to be able to even think about pulling everything back into line. And yeah, I mean, they're going to have to reset the ridge and everything because everything's moved. So they're going to have to take all the weight off it at least to be able to get the tie bars to do their job and be able to pull it in. They ain't going to do that in 2 days, that's for certain. and I won't accept anything less than this roof coming off and it being done properly. Those tie bars should have been in when everything was still straight and level before the weight of the glazing went on, in my opinion. Otherwise it's gonna move before they're put in and tightened up, before there's some sort of structure holding everything together. And that proves exactly what I was saying to them, that is not structurally sound. At any point, that whole wall of glass could tip out and bring the whole conservatory crashing down, because it's got too much weight pressing down on it without the tie bars. So that's where we are. For the benefit of Evander, that is the mess you've left me in. You can now understand why I am not a happy man.